Welcome to Mindful Meetup. I'm Samantha Harden, and it's an honor to serve as the Physical Activity Specialist of Virginia Cooperative Extension, and to also remember to keep, as we continue to try to help others on their health journey, to keep ourselves and our oxygen mask on as well. So today I'd like to start with a guided visualization or moment-to-moment awareness or meditation, depending on how you perceive it. And maybe you put your device down and just have the audio on, or if you'd like to start the closed caption option. And maybe you take your gaze towards a window or seeing outside. And if that's not available, maybe just finding something pleasant in the space around you. An invitation to find 5 distinct colors or textures, perhaps trying to find ones that bring you the most joy or perhaps a sensation of groundedness. And once you have found 5 different distinct colors or textures or sensations, gently bringing the gaze down the nose or closing the eyes, and just finding deep gratitude for your sense of sight and whatever you are seeing and embracing this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whenever you're tuning in. And I'll go quiet so that you can tune in to your sense of sight. And we'll breathe deeply in and exhale out. And maybe finding a soft gaze down your nose or closing your eyes, starting to tune in to 4 distinct things that you can hear. An invitation to think about stuff that is farther away from your physical being, so something that might be outside of the room or space you're in, and then start to close in on sounds that you hear that are nearer to you, perhaps even the sound of your own inhales and exhales, or the beat of your heart, or the shake of a dog collar jingle, or something that's really subtle in the background. I'll go quiet so that you can tune into your environment and the cadence of your own beating heart. Perhaps after you find the 4 sounds, you revisit them, noticing kind of the echoing of the expanded sound and the close nearby sound, and just being grateful for your ability to discern, your ability to come back to this time and space. And we'll close with our gratitude for our sense of hearing through a deep inhale. And if you like, part the lips and sigh out of the mouth. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. And an invitation to turn your attention and sensations to 3 distinct things you feel. And again, maybe inviting that level of discernment. So maybe it's something that's beneath you. If you're standing, maybe it's the floor or the ground. Maybe it's the fabric of your clothing on your body or temperature, or trying to find something that's a little bit more evocative and then something that's a little more subtle. So I'll go quiet so that you can tune in to the sensations that your body is experiencing in this time and place. Maybe you're tuning into the physical or felt sensation, or maybe what these things represent, or maybe a sense of gratitude for something your body was able to do today just by getting you to the computer or to your workstation. Maybe a sensation of support that you're feeling against your body, but the supports that you have from colleagues or family members or other beloveds who are there to support you. So the physical sensation and the more subtle sensation. And I'll give you 3 more breath cycles to just tune into how you feel. And on your final exhale, sharing gratitude for all the ways that you're physically, mentally, socially, and spiritually supported. With a deep breath in, expand the body. And on the exhale, surrender and release the body. Maybe even wiggle the jaw side to side and find a little more softness, perhaps between the eyebrows, or dropping the shoulders away from the ears, or releasing any tension in between the thighs or in the buttocks. And then turn your attention to your nostrils as you breathe the air in, and as you exhale and release the air out. Mouth open or closed, just tuning in to your own breath, the cadence, the depth, the temperature, and then start to tune in to perhaps 2 distinct things that you can smell. Notice in this invitation for discernment for something that you can smell if there's an attachment or a judgment to good or bad. And if you cannot find 2 distinct smells, maybe bring to mind's eye a scent or a sensation that brings you joy, and see if you can find that, or even the illusion of that, as you inhale and exhale for 3 more breath cycles. And on your exhale, perhaps opening the mouth and sighing out, noticing what that does in the chest and the sensations of smell. And then if you like, maybe wiggling the jaw side to side or running the tongue along the enamel of your teeth, maybe even closing the mouth and deeply swallowing and trying to find one distinct taste. And again, if there's nothing there and available as you're searching and discerning, perhaps think of a taste that brings you joy, or a sensation of groundedness or presence or gratitude, or a way that you communicate or share or receive love, just something to be grateful for your sense of taste and how you might be nourishing your body. I'll go quiet for 3 breaths. And on your exhale, if you like, gently drop the chin towards the chest, sigh out of the mouth. Let the upper neck just hammock against gravity. And then if you like, bringing one ear to one shoulder, lengthening along the neck and perhaps the front of the chest. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Don't rush it. Be with the sensations. Maybe bringing the shoulder blades together, broadening across the collarbone. Maybe returning to one of the sights that you saw out the window or in your space. or one of the sounds, or maybe you can even hear the birds chirping through the computer, remembering the human sensation of connectedness. We're having different experiences, but a shared one. I'll go quiet for one more deep inhale. And then drop the chin towards the chest and stay here as you notice what you notice about the difference between each side, running along the neck, what that activation and moment of stillness brought up for you, and then taking the ear to the opposite shoulder. And here, a couple of options is to just stay still or explore where the chin or the gaze wants to go. Again, bringing the shoulder blades together, broadening across the chest, leading with an open heart. Noticing the subtleties. Maybe you're starting to discern that the breath is getting deeper or more expansive, or maybe it's catching somewhere, just noticing without judgment what's happening within you. Where are you feeling activated? Where are you feeling surrender? And then drop the chin towards the chest. And then stay here, kind of tracing the collarbone side to side. Maybe you stay with these half circles or full circles are calling to you. Being gentle with this head of yours, this neck of yours. Maybe you take it in the opposite direction after you've taken 2 to 3 rotations. Notice what's happening in the invitation for slowing down. Come back on center and 3 breaths to do whatever is calling to you next. So if you're thinking, I don't know what's calling, maybe you just back off from the computer or the laptop or whatever device you're using and sit in stillness and silence and say, do I need to sway? Do I need to roll in my shoulders? Do I need to do a couple of sun salutations? What is my body calling for? It could be as simple as placing one hand on heart, one hand on belly, and tuning in. And now that that cueing took almost 3 breaths already, I'll go quiet for a few more so that you can tune into what you need without instruction, without nudging. Can you tune into your own intuition? Two more breaths to even out any movement you've chosen. And if you'd like, stay with what's calling to you or coming back on center. And we'll just find all 6 movements of our spine briefly by inhaling, reaching the arms up and overhead and drop one arm towards the ground. Hike the opposite shoulder up towards the ear and tilt, finding the lateral stretch on one side, maybe feeling a little bit more expansion in the armpit along the serratus, along the side body, all the way to the front of the hip, and then pressing, whether you're seated or standing, into the same side knife edge of the foot to really feel the grounded sensation, the lifted sensation, and the lean. Choosing what to do with your gaze, your chin, your neck. One more breath cycle. And then to change, we just drop the lifted arm and place it by the side, coming back to Tadasana, our mountain pose, noticing the echo of the work of the lifted arm or the lengthened side. And then inhale, reach the arms up and overhead and take it to the other side. So dropping the hand down onto the chair rest or arm if you have that, or just reaching up, out, and over, lengthening, choosing where your gaze is, your neck, your throat, the gentleness of the breath. Press into the foot, activate the lower body, and hinge to lean a little deeper, feeling the warmth perhaps building up in the shoulder joint. And then release the hand down into the side. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead, and then exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, bring the elbows down, maybe press your palms back and behind you. So often we're bringing our hands forward, bring the hands back and behind you and draw the chest through the gate of the arms and see if that creates any added sensation or opening in the front of the shoulders. And then inhale, lift up and out. Exhale, bring the fingertips behind the head and curl in as you wing the elbows in and down. Inhale, reach up and out if you like the sensation of pressing the arms away, or you can keep the hands behind the head. Then come in behind the head and curl in. Just twice more like this. Maybe you pause at one stop along the way. Notice how expansive or how subtle you want these movements to be for the type of Monday or day that you're having. Last, curl in to hold. So the hands behind the head, and think about pressing the back of the skull into the hammock of the hands rather than curling in and down. Think about lifting up and see if that ignites any more sensation on the back body. It's okay if not, it's a subtle difference. Just noticing that you're pressing up and in, trying to find a little more space. And then gently release the hands down by the side and maybe tick-tock finding those little rotations in the neck one more time. If you like, if you feel like evenness is calling to you, would take it in one direction and then the other. Then roll the shoulders back. And the fingertips can come to the shoulders, so winging the elbows out to the side. And then just bring one elbow towards the front of the room, come back on center, and bring the other elbow towards the front of the room. So a couple of cues here. You can go as fast or slow as you like, as deep or as subtle as you like. Try to keep both hip points towards the front of the room or the front of your space so that the work is happening from the belly button and up. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. If you're liking the slow, grounded movement, maybe just continue to explore. If you're looking for a little more heat and fire, maybe you increase the speed of your twist. We'll go for about 30 more seconds. So just choosing what works for you. You can match your breath with movement. Shh, 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 or keep it nice and slow. Let the ringing sensation expand along the side of the body. Notice the sensations. You've got 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Release the hands by the side if that feels comfortable, or one hand on heart, one hand on belly, or both hands on the heart. And if you like, dropping the chin towards the chest, pressing the sternum or the middle of the chest closer towards the sky, and an invitation to tune in and notice what you notice. Our theme for this month is tapas. It's our discipline. It's this concept that's associated with our solar plexus, or just below our rib cage and just above the belly button. One way to think about this within our workplaces and our daily lives is that each of us had very different needs, perhaps different sensations, perhaps different sounds or sights or feelings. We're all going through something. And as shame and vulnerability researcher Brené Brown reminds us, everyone has a story that will break your heart. And if you're truly listening, everyone has one that might bring you to your knees. And this is a colloquial or representation of tapas. We're all going through something, and we're all showing up with the skills that we have. One of the things that we're trying to work on within our lab and our offerings is that these principles of moment to moment awareness, breath, and movement can help us work through the tapas that exist, perhaps in an instant, perhaps in a season, perhaps in a lifetime. And so just noticing that what you need might be very different from what your colleague needs, from what the person on your next Zoom call needs. And if we can continue to tune into ourselves, to listen to what is it that I need next? Is it a bio break? Is it water? Is it a moment of stillness? Or is it a hard workout that helps us get out of self? Is it volunteering? Just noticing that what I need might be very different from someone else, and that what I'm going through and how I show up at work may or may not be representative of who I want to be, who I am. And the more that we can give each other grace, the more that we can give each other grace through knowing that we're all going through our tapas or our discipline, our fire, our turning something from muck into stone or into gems. Just a gentle reminder that we're all doing the best we can, whether we can see it or sense it or hear it or not. And with that, I'd like you to take just a moment if you need to remind yourself that you are already doing the best you can with the situation you're in, with the skills that you have, with the resources, with the supports, with the sensations, and with your responses. I'll go quiet for 2 breaths so that you can tell yourself exactly what you need to hear as an intention that you want to set beyond this 30 minutes of a mindful moment. Taking any final needs or movements, or maybe warming up the hands, creating that fiery sensation, tapas. So our solar plexus chakra is associated with the element of fire. You might want to bring your hands to the space at the center of your being and remind yourself that you are here now, standing tall like a cypress tree, or maybe seated and supported. And you have nothing to do to earn any more supports or the right to breathe, to be grateful. And that's our tapas, our discipline. And we'll talk more about that for the remainder of the month.